What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the den. I hope all of you wonderful people are doing well this evening. If you don't know, I am your host, Sir Ed Honcho. Yes, I'm being all proper this evening. Sir Ed Honcho, and fucking beyond. Man, I'm glad to be here this evening. It is my honor. It is my privilege, and more than anything else, it is my pleasure. I really get a kick. I really get enlightened by getting to chop it up with you guys each and every night. So it's wonderful to be here. I thank you for being here. You could be anywhere else in the world. Bullshit. Your ass got to be in the house, so you might as well be in the den. You got your ass on lockdown, and you know it. But Ed Honcho HTX on the gram and the Twitters. Den Show Live on Facebook. Make sure you're following. Links are all in the description below if you need the easy way to get there. But I'm glad you guys could join this evening. Man. Let me tell you. Let's see who we have joining us this evening, and then we will get into some good conversation. We're going to talk stimulus package. We're going to talk about some other shenanigans that are going on around the world. Not really, but what's going on around America. Man, being on no international shit tonight, and unless something good comes up. Crazy stuff, actually. But let's see what we got here. We got Miss Grace. What's the motherfucking deal? Miss Bell. Hope you're doing well. Mr. Don of the Discord himself. Cultured. How are you doing this evening, sir? What's the motherfucking deal? Ronald Isley. I got muted by myself in the Discord. Jason S. What's the motherfucking deal? The Wu flu. The Wu-Tang flu. M. Grace. Always good to have both the Graces gracing us with their presence this evening. Beyond the funny nigga, what's the motherfucking deal? I'm up with a year and a half to that goddamn fucking life come out. I ain't got time to wait. Look, nigga, I ain't seen a Beyond the funny nigga since I've been out. Like, look, nigga been out for 2-3 weeks now, and I'm still waiting on a Beyond the funny nigga video. That's some bullshit. Roscoe, what's the motherfucking deal? Fucking up the dominoes. Look, hey, where's Lady Licious? Hook my boy Roscoe up with the plug. John from NY, my favorite New Yorker. What's the motherfucking deal? He posted on his burner account. That's terrible if he did do that. Sweetberry, how are you doing this evening, man? What's the motherfucking deal? AB, always good to see Mr. AB. How you doing this evening, man? Every time I see AB named, I cannot help it but think about what the fuck you cheering for her? Why are you cheering for her? That bitch losing. Like, every time, dog. Like, so I have to contain myself a little bit. Shout out to AB. What's the motherfucking deal? Buck McCrack. No, I'm saying, I'm finna say fucking something else. Buck McCaffrey. Mahaffrey, I'm sorry. I'm McCaffrey. I'm thinking Ed McCaffrey. Buck Mahaffrey, how you doing, man? Yeah, nah. Definitely don't see no skies when you put in work like that. Let me see. Stephanie Paul, what's the motherfucking deal? How you doing this evening? Roxzilla Carly, what's the motherfucking deal? It is St. Patrick's Day. You pinch me, we gonna fight. Let me see. Shit, I ain't mad at Tom. Tom, at least Tom got paid with like 30 mil a year. Crazy money. DeMarkey, get your punk ass up out of here. Danny, Dominic, whichever one you are. Eastside Hero, what's the motherfucking deal? And Danny, what's the motherfucking deal? There's nothing, look, there's no point in talking about the Texans. There's nothing that the Texans could possibly do. And I don't want to talk about the fucking Texans. There's nothing that they could do at all that would justify the moves that they made. Bill O'Brien is a complete fucking idiot. There's no bigger clown in the NFL. I would take AB over Bill O'Brien. At least you might get some production from something positive about it for a couple of weeks before he goes loco. I don't want to talk about the stimulus package that's being proposed. D the Gamma, what's the motherfucking deal? No, nothing's going to soften the blow. There's nothing you can... Fuck no. There's nothing... Like, come on, man. Don't think about what you're saying. And I'm going to put the green light on O'Brien. Tomorrow, I'm going to sauce it up tomorrow, put the green light on his ass. So here's my thing, man. Yeah, everybody in the NFL. Like, they were talking about that it was a specific team that literally, they texted a certain pundit and said, like, they were laughing out loud, like the entire room bust out laughing when they heard about the terms of the trade. Bill O'Brien's a fucking, he's like he's the NFL short bus guy. He's really feminine. Like I think he has low T. I really do. I think he has low T. I think he has like an estrogen imbalance or something because he's real feminine. Shonda Tony, what's the motherfucking deal? How are you this evening? So, all of you, like I said, I want to talk about the stimulus thing, but I want to talk about something before we get into the stimulus package. I want to talk about some of the bans and you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Not bans, but like curfews, and it's something else. It's another word I'm looking for, not necessarily curfew, but there's a reason for these things. And niggas, y'all are killing me, man. I posted a couple of videos in the the Facebook, and like they were clearing the beaches in Miami, right? And niggas are all on the lifeguards. They're like it's crazy stuff, man. Um, it's crazy stuff. Like niggas just don't want to act right. Then niggas want to talk shit to the laws and then get mad when they get roughed up. Like I saw one video and like I say, you know, it was kind of funny. Niggas be talking shit. Niggas was like, you know, blocking the cop and all that. Then when the cop said, "Fuck it," you know, he's about to arrest his ass. Then this motherfucker would start power walking. They mowed his ass down. Uh, but they were clearing out the beaches. Niggas acting crazy. Niggas riding, basically running through shit, like fucking shit up, like in mass numbers. Shannon, no pistachios for you. Heidi, Kleindienst, how are you this evening? Um, and so, man, look, look, the it's not over yet. But so what I want to talk about though, not necessarily Miami, they bullshitting out there, but because what happened? I think a cruise ship docked out there, and a bunch of passengers got off, even though there was a positive test for corona on the cruise ship, and a bunch of passengers got off without getting screened. So there's that. Um, but the thing that happened, I don't know why this fucking thing does this. Yeah, I see it, but it's not. It's not. Let me fix the bot. Hopefully it works right. But here's the thing: Philly and New York is already on that bullshit because it was something that didn't want to discuss before we went in, and that was the no cash bail thing, and so I sell the team to China. That would probably be the best bet at this point. You know, like I say, they already did the no bail thing, and so basically letting motherfuckers out for any and everything, only so they can go right back out and continue to do the same shit. Like let me explain this to you again from the perspective of a person who was just on a little visit a few weeks back, right? And you got to understand, niggas is not tripping about going in doing 2, 3, 4, 5 years or so and getting right back to the same shit that they were doing. So if you think a nigga's tripping about going in and getting right back out and hitting the streets and he's gonna change his attitude because he caught a case, you are fucking delusional. So people who sit here and say, "Oh, the bail system's fucked up," and then it, it can be, it can be. For some people that are in that situation, it's like, well, that's rather unfortunate. But then some people aren't always honest with you about, you know, the circumstances surrounding those things. But it can be rather unfortunate. But to sit here and say this is a great idea, it's like I got the early bird list right here. I slacked the last day or two. I'm gonna go back and check those, and I have not been putting them in the account, but I will. I'll definitely get them all in there. Everybody but Shannon. Um, and so, like I say, this is a terrible idea. But now, what Philly has done and New York has done. Let me actually pull up the list of punishments. You know what I'm saying? Got you, definitely got you. Um, let me pull up. I saved the picture.
Eastside Harold donated $5 through Super Chat. Y'all make sure you tell at Just Sarah I donated. This is for you, Sarah, you cutting into my tricking budget.
Let me see. Uh, Man, and for the people who fuck with the sauce, I'll talk about it on the sauce tomorrow. I was pleasantly surprised by something that happened. As much as what? See, now the gym hit me talking about some temporary club closures. Fuck them. Uh, oh damn, I didn't see that. Um, I need to. I keep saying I'm gonna turn the notifications on my phone, and I never fucking do. And I'm always missing shit that makes me seem, I guess, like a shitty person because I catch the shit all late. Right here. So, Philly is no longer arresting people because they don't want, law enforcement getting sick. So, as of March 17th, these are the crimes, these are the offenses that you can commit, and you will not get arrested. You will just be detained. Your information and identity will be confirmed. So paperwork will be filled out, you will be released, and then your information will be given to a detective. All narcotics offenses, theft from persons, retail theft, theft from auto, burglary, vandalism, all bench warrants, stolen auto, economic crimes, which means bad checks and fraud, and prostitution. The hoes are going real. It's some real hoeing going on right now. So East Side, if you want to slide to Philly, you got it, man. Oh man, but I appreciate the love, East Side, man. So basically, you can do all of this and you will not be arrested. You know what I'm saying? And this is here. And then in New York, I heard that they're supposed to be releasing a lot of people who are currently in custody out of fears of the coronavirus, which is craziness. You haven't seen that. People buying guns and ammo like crazy. So, I advise you, protect yourself at all times, like Floyd Mayweather. It's fucked up for Floyd. His baby mama died. We never talked about that. And then, who was it, Roger Mayweather died today or yesterday, I'm not sure. But this is what I'm saying. So you can basically run amok. You saw what happened in California. They proposed like a new little law or something like that, basically where I think crimes under $300 that they wouldn't arrest you for, like minor offenses, they wouldn't arrest you for. And what happens? The first thing that happens is motherfuckers start running into fucking stores, stealing makeup and shit. And the people just have to sit there and watch it because they're not going to do anything about it. That's this crazy left mentality. Like, as soon as you give people, like, that's what I don't understand. People are like, oh, well, they shouldn't punish them for minor offenses anyway. Okay, well, when you don't have a job because they can't afford to pay you and you are unemployed, then you're going to be complaining about the government. But blame those people who stole all that shit. Nacho, what's the motherfucking deal? Fifi Ali, what's the motherfucking deal? Oh yeah, Andrew Gillum is. But here's my thing, man. Like, if you don't put restrictions on people, they're going to lose their shit, especially with the mentality people have nowadays. I mean, it's been going on since the beginning of history, but now, more so than ever. I don't know what people think. People think people are just naturally civilized. That's only because the laws are in place. And even with these laws in place, people still don't give a shit. So, is this Hanes? Or is it Fruit of the Loom? I'm not sure. No, this one's this is I don't know what shirt this is. This is some weird shirt from, I forgot where I got this shirt from. But I do have a Hanes or a Fruit of the Loom shirt. But my thing is this, Marky Mark, what's the motherfucking deal? I change my name every other couple of days. What's the motherfucking deal? Mrs. Midlife Crisis, that's what I'm going to call you. Yeah, we're going to open the phone line here in just a bit. But, so what I'm saying is that people think that it's just going to be peachy cream. And again, this is what law enforcement is necessary for, to keep these minor things in line. Because the people you think are your buddies and your pals, you hear it all the time, they will fuck you over too. But people think it's all good. So I forgot, like I say, one of these counties that they said that they were going to stop, process minor offenses. People just were, that means they didn't have to arrest them in the first place. Do you realize if people don't receive consequences for their punishments, then they're going to continue to do it? That's just what it is. If I'm not going to be, if nobody's going to tell me anything, and I receive some type of benefit for doing this, or I think I'm getting a benefit, I'm going to keep doing it. That's just how people naturally are. So again, and it's actually going to ramp up. It'll start off with small things, and you feel like you're getting away with that. You're going to test you know, bigger bounties, if you will. So I'm not talking about bounty the quicker picker upper either. So, you know, again, crazy, crazy stuff. But yeah, that's what's happening in Philly and New York amongst this corona. But let's talk about, you know, like I said, there's lockdowns, there's the restaurants are doing delivery and pickup only. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. And so, you know, it's like, but yeah, and of course, I agree. Police only show up after the crimes are committed. But now, they're not even giving a fuck. They're just gonna let you commit the crime. They're not even gonna show up. They're just like, fuck it. Nah, I ain't even gonna fuck that. We ain't got better shit to do. Um, so again, you know, but like I say, now a lot of the country, some places kind of on lockdown. You've seen the National Guard called in. You've seen people, like I say, just I mean, there's no dining in, and so what happens now is you have kind of this trickle down effect where, especially a lot of service industry workers, restaurant workers in particular, people who work off tips, strippers, are not getting paid. Right? What about the strippers? What about the strippers? That's who I'm concerned about. Now they'll have to focus solely on their OnlyFans, but you know. So there's been a proposed, I think $1,000 or something like that. You know, check that they're working on sending out. And so what I want to talk about with this is, oh, excuse me, pardon me, is you know to kind of supplement those who aren't able to work. You still got bills coming in, even though a lot of places are trying to put the bills and stuff on pause. And the socialists are loving it, right? The socialists are loving it. They think this is the way that the world works, like not realizing that it takes an epidemic for this to happen. And if you want to live like this for the rest of your life, it has to be something wrong with you. But see, they're showing that they can do it. No, this is an emergency situation. It can work on a temporary basis to sustain stuff. Working for Netflix, they shut you down. What? Damn. That's what I heard too. I heard like Georgia has a very big film industry. Like they've stopped all the filming in Georgia. So I don't know what shows you may watch that may have been in production, but they're on hiatus now. I don't give a shit. I got a question. Does anybody play the Division 2? Because I see that they have an expansion out, and I'm tempted. I'm like, Division 2 looks interesting. I really don't really want to get back on the game, so I probably shouldn't get it anyway. But I'm just curious if anybody fucks with the Division 2, and if it's going down, I may entertain it. Either way, yes, Idris Elba, that's terrible too. So my thing is this. See, I think it's something that's going on. Why they're trying to give out money? I think they're trying to make America go bankrupt. We all are trying to go to bankrupt act. I don't know, man, but this is what everybody's partner gang wanted to do, the UBI, Universal Basic Income. And so, Ghost Recon Wildlands, all right, I have to check it out. I have to check that out. I don't know if did I see that on there? Because like they have a sale on all the Tom Clancy shit. So, I'll have to look into it. And so my thing is this, man. I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this is going to be beneficial? Do you think that this is not enough? Do you think that it shouldn't be anything? How do you think people are responding to this? Is this a precedent
Prepaid
that
Mike
may cause a
donated
problem?
$20. Donations, gifts, more gifts. Enjoy IT Honcho. I'm headed to Philly to steal my dollar back.
Shout out to Prepaid. After I finally saw that fucking shit, dog, that shit kills me, dog. Look, hold on. Donations, gifts, more gifts, donations. And don't ask me why I just happen to have a bunch of envelopes right there. I really don't even, that was not planned. That was not whatever. They were literally sitting right there because I was cleaning some shit out. So, oh my God. So you know, and again, like I said, a lot of people, you can't work, you have necessities, you have needs, you have kids at home, and things like. Oh, and I remember what I was talking about depending on the government, and the other day, and it was kind of relating into like these people who have these kids, and the fact that you have people who have multiple children can't feed these kids, and you know that you have to rely on the school system to feed your children. You know, and to me that's sad. That's extremely sad. That some of these kids are really out there suffering because their parents did not plan properly, and now you have these issues going on. So I think that it's extremely unfortunate. Just, you know, it was $10. Next time, make it 20. Nah, that shit was that. The fucking Umar is crazy. Did you see the thing with Umar and somebody put it behind the ether beat? I don't know who he was talking about. But I may fuck with it. Like I said, I saw the regular Division 1 and 2. They had like a bundle for like $18, and then they had the new division with the expansion pack. I think it was like with the expansion pack like $40. Then I think it's $60 for the ultimate with the season pass and all that. So I'm looking at it. I'm considering it, but you know, maybe we get on the mixer with that. But like that bothers me so much that you know, the schools are doing drive-by food pickups. They just throwing the food outside, you know, and you just pick it up. I guess that's how it works. Just crazy stuff going on, man. And again, but this is where it comes, you know, that government dependence, and it's crazy because the same people who hate the government or have issues with certain things that the government does are some of the most dependent on the government. So it's very unfortunate. Free Popeye sandwiches for you little niggas. But here's the deal. Like I said, I'm not gonna waste too much more time. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna open this line up, and we're gonna take some calls. Like I said, I want to know what your thoughts are on the stimulus package. I want to know what your thoughts are on some of these lockdowns, some of these quarantines, some of these curfews. I've seen they've had the elderly hours. You know what I'm saying? And again, what else? What was the other thing? What was the thing I first started talking about? Yeah, niggas tripping in Miami. The hours, and then like I said, yeah, with the people, with them not punishing these small crimes now. So basically, you know, we're gonna write your name down. That's like, remember when you used to be in school, get in trouble, like, I'm gonna write your name down, I'm gonna send this to the principal. That's basically that's basically what it is. I'm gonna write your name down, I'm gonna send it to the detective. So that's where we are now. So again, it's very unfortunate. It's a terrible situation. And then to the icing on the cake is if you live in Houston, you have the shittiest football team of all time. So let us, yes, Nacho, you can call as soon as I get the line open here. Let me actually put the right thing on. Again, make sure you follow on the proper social medias, Ed Honcho HTX, Instagram and Twitter. Then show live on Facebook. Man, it's hard out here for a pimp. I'm telling you, like, when I'm putting a green light on Bill O'Brien, I think I'm joking. On site, SOS. I can't live like this. Put too much damn time into the sauce to let this nigga fuck it up. I got long-term plans for the sauce. Bill O'Brien fucking all that shit up. He trying to cancel a nigga. Can't have that. You know? I feel like he's deliberately trying to take me out. All right, give me 1 second. Let me get these numbers up.
Hi there.
And I'm still waiting on confirmation from the real Maria. I'm like I said, I said on the Discord my thoughts on that the other day. So if you're not in the Discord, make sure you're a part of that. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Get the earphones open. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Man, it's Eastside.
Eastside, what's the motherfucking deal, man? I appreciate the love. What's on your mind today, man?
Man, Honcho, I know you don't like to bring up sickness talk, but man, I feel like I lost a loved one, man. I feel like I raised it, boy. I watched him grow from diapers, man. But like for real, man, I be trolling these other YouTube channels, man, talking shit to Dallas fans, but it's like I can't even talk shit no more, man. I feel like I feel distraught.
Correct.
It's like this football shit, bro. You forget it's a real live disease, a virus coming around. This free agency is like it take your mind away from this shit, but then you feel fucked up about it, and you're like, man, it's a why am I feeling fucked up about DeAndre Hopkins? But it's a virus going around, and I'm not even thinking about the virus.
No, not even that. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
that's how bad it is, man.
Bro, who you telling, bro? It's like fuck, man. If we'd have got a first rounder for the shit. I mean, any way you look at it, it's like it'd have been like unexplainable. But if you'd have got a first rounder for a year, I mean, you could have kind of fucking been good with it. But shit, you didn't get that.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, there's nothing justifiable that you can do. I mean, I wish, but I mean, there's nothing that they can do. There's nothing they can do in the draft. There's nothing they can do in free agency, and it's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It's the worst move. I know people may say, this is just a modern thing, but it's the worst move I've ever seen in the history of football.
They were talking about Bill O'Brien, like he must pretty much know he like out the door or some shit, because he's like pretty much trying to tank the organization. With like, if you just look at these moves, it's like, why would he do this shit? Like, if you knew you was about to get fired, like, what would you do? Like, man, fuck this job, man, shit. I ain't doing nothing positive.
But that's crazy. I think he's just that stupid, because why would you give this man more power if he's finna tank and do all this stuff? Like, I think he's just that ignorant, and that's just really it. Like, I got nothing else. I'm like, I think we give him too much credibility. I think he thinks the moves are legit.
I think it's really Bob McNair's son. I don't even know the motherfucking name, but Cal. I think he's just not a football guy. I think he's not a football guy. I get all this money from this organization. Hey, do what you want to do.
Yeah, that's basically. It's like, again, like I say, we're doomed. Exactly. We're doomed.
But as far as the little quarantine, bro, they shut down the bars and the restaurants, man. That's like my main thing. Like, I'm at the age, like, I go to the bars and restaurants. That's like my shit. But if you just cut off the bars and the restaurants, shit, man, I just go to work and go home, bro. That's like stopping a lot of motherfuckers from doing what they do.
Yes. How is a single man supposed to meet women if he can't go to the bar?
Instagram and back page websites.
Backpage still cracking?
Not Backpage. They shut Backpage down, but they got other websites.
Okay.
They shut the great Backpage down, man. I'm at that age. I'm like 38, man. I remember early 2000s, Backpage first came along, and man, I was like amazed. I was like, man, what has the world come to? Bro, it's just at a click of a button.
Yes, convenience.
I was at the age where, like with the smartphone and shit, it was like, I was like one of those motherfuckers, the last to get the smartphone, and once I got it, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Man, technology.
Ain't it a beautiful thing?
Anyway, bro, I'm just talking shit at work. Just thought I'd holler at you, be the first. Okay. Man, where just Sarah at?
I'm not sure where just Sarah is, but I'm sure she'll pull up here before.
Man, y'all make sure y'all tell her I donated, man. She was on my ass.
No, I got you. I'll make sure that she know that you showed some love, man, so she'll get up off you.
All right, brother.
All right. Appreciate the love, Mr. Eastside, man. It's good to hear from you.
All right.
Man, look, yeah, I see you saying church beyond funny. They go from Backpage to church and then back to Backpage. That's how they getting down these days. They go from Backpage, they go to church to rejuvenate, and then they back at Backpage. That's what's happening. So I don't know. I guess I should have this open so I can actually see if somebody calling, right? But Shout out to Mr. Eastside. But like I say, man, yeah, it's crazy. I saw somebody ask, does it make you feel bad that, the kids go hungry if, the city's not feeding them? And I think it's a terrible thing. But the crazy part about it is the people who are doing that are continuing to pump out children, knowing that they don't have the resources, that's poor planning, that they are not in a position to have kids, but instead they put their personal gratification, I guess, first before, sense. I mean, you have so many forms of contraceptive these days, like there's really no excuse for that. So again, it's very unfortunate, that the kids have to suffer or get caught up, either in the system or whatever it may be because of and that's a very good question. What's happening with the kids who are kind of in the system, again, if they're not going to school, they don't have anything going from that. That has to be a very bad situation. So, what's the motherfucking deal? We got called into the den this evening.
Hey, it's Belle.
How you doing this evening, Miss Bell?
Good. One of the things that I had heard, and I don't know if it's true, is some of the counties are taking some of the school buses and dropping lunches off at the bus stops. They're supposed to be meeting, the parents are supposed to be meeting the bus stops and getting school lunches in a couple of the counties. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because, I mean, the schools are actually got accounts for all this money coming in to spend on food. So where do you send it?
Yeah.
But, so what is this deal about something about reparations for everybody?
Stimulus, apparently, I guess everybody's supposed to get $1,000 or something like that. And so, I don't know. Like I said, do you think that that's enough? Do you think $1,000 is enough for people to, sustain through these times right now? Do you think it should be more? Do you think it's a good idea, bad idea? Or do you think people are really going to spend it on stuff that they need, or they're going to go out and waste it? What do you think is going to happen?
Honestly, I don't think trickle-down effect actually works the way anybody wants it to. If I'm not mistaken, several years ago, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, they did a trickle-down effect, and was it $100 or $500 to every citizen? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. I think when that was taking place, I was up to some shenanigans. I ain't getting no love from that.
You're too young, is what you're saying. Mm-hmm. That makes me really old. But what I am saying is that what they decided is that it ended up actually being a social experiment for the fact that some saved, some spent and went broke beyond that, and some just used it for what it needed to be used for. And so the thing is that you never know who's going to spend what where. Mm-hmm. Some people spend down debt, some people will just save it. I mean, of course, this is the rainy day. But I mean, like you said, bars being closed, you've got wait staff not being able to work. Major production studios all over the country are being shut down.
Right.
So, and like you said, I guess what I don't understand is why let the criminals, in a sense, loose when the fact is they're having everybody no containment. I mean, putting them back on the street is like saying, oh, go catch the coronavirus.
Mm. Mm.
I mean, when you've got everybody who is a quote-unquote law-abiding citizen locked down in their homes, but you're sending out the criminals, what kind of message does that send?
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I don't want to see correction officers get sick, but they're already doing their job. It's no different than firefighters or quote-unquote normal policemen. I mean, I guess I'm not understanding why.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. As far as the correction, I may be biased because of recent experiences. Because that motherfucker left the dude with the shitty bag in there. So I want all the other correction officers to be, allowed to stay home. I just want him to work. I want him to work all facilities. I want him to catch the corona. I want bad things to happen to him and him only, because he's a piece of shit for what he did.
Were they all shits or just some of them?
Him and probably 72% of the black female correctional officers that work in Harris County, they can all catch corona for all I give a damn. But like I say, not all of them were bad. You just had some that came with some just bullshit. It's like, nobody's making you work here. You know, it's like, we have to serve our punishments. You ain't got to act like that. Motherfuckers just come in with an attitude for whatever reason. Yeah, I want all of them to catch corona. Everybody else is cool. Some of them were super cool. Some of them was just some real fucking dickheads. You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah. I've had a few in my life. So did you do anything for St. Patty's Day?
Absolutely not. Not at all. I didn't. Hold on one second. No, I didn't. Excuse me. I didn't get a chance to celebrate my Irish roots. So I was just kind of chilling.
Yeah, it's the first time in I don't know how many years I actually ended up having a corned beef sandwich. And I'm not a stitch Irish, so.
So what is the what is the meaning behind the corned beef sandwich?
Okay, corned beef it's tradition in Ireland, I guess. And all it is the way that they used to preserve it. They used to preserve it with corn. And I'm not exactly sure how that went about because, like I said, I'm not a stitch Irish. But it was just like a preservative, like pastrami, or it's a way that they cured the meat in order to help it last longer.
Okay.
So that's all I mean, and it just, cabbage has always been Irish tradition and non-Irish, UK food. Because even Scotland and England do a lot of cabbage.
Okay. So is there like corn in the corned beef?
Well, no. Corn is used as the preservative. And that's why it's called corned beef. Because it's probably the sugar, the corn sugar, that helped preserve it. And that's all I can think of. I really honestly have no clue about that. I just know it's always been called that. Bless you. Yep. You probably just have regular allergies. Corned beef is brisket, Miss Grace said.
Okay.
I didn't know that. Okay. So that's the type of meat that's used for the corned beef. I know. Somebody else can call in and let us know what it is because I have no clue.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I have no idea.
All I know is it makes good hash with poached eggs. So, anyway, that being said, there's really, not too much other than just more lockdown. And I was watching our 11 o'clock news because we're, again, an hour ahead of you guys. And they were saying that if you don't have to go out, don't go out. And even though the numbers are coming down as far as the deaths and the amount of people that they're finding that actually have the virus, we're not out of the woods with this yet.
Yeah, that's what I think. So do you think it's going to get significantly worse? Do you think it's just going to kind of last a little while? Or like, what do you think the ultimate outcome is going to be with this whole thing?
If everybody does like they're supposed to, I think that it will kind of what they call peter out in the next week or so, but I really can't tell you, because you just don't know. I don't even know what the incubation period of it is. I mean, you can have it for 2 days and infect everybody, but once you've got it, you're not infectious anymore, kind of thing. I'm not exactly sure how that part of it works. So that tells a lot about how many people one person can affect with the virus. Oh, Idris Elba was also tested positive for the coronavirus.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm sad about that. But where are all these celebrities? Like, it doesn't seem like they're in America when they're catching the virus. So that makes me wonder what's going on. Tom Hanks is in Australia, and Australia actually had some very stringent protocols in place to try to avoid people getting it. And Tom goes over there all willy-nilly, and next thing you know, he's got that Rona.
Well, the international travel from the United States to Europe has been banned for 30 days.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Well, it's a necessary evil. I mean, you kind of have to. The thing is this is the interesting part. We're shutting our borders because of a virus, but yet we can't seem to contain it when it's normal daytime, day-to-day business.
That's, I don't know, it's real wild. Like just everything that's going on. Like I say, it's just a surprising turn of events how life has changed over the last week or so, maybe a week or two, and the way people respond to things. And again, this to me, it's labeled a pandemic, and I know it's a lot of energy behind it. We'll call it that. And but I'd hate to see something like a real. I guess this is real for some people, but it's to me like something that a real major threat. And again, I don't want to wish that on anything, but like I'd hate to see how people respond. It would definitely be. I think it would be a lot worse.
Well, the one thing that I found to be completely, it just tickled my heart in a way that it should really have not. There was I'm not exactly what I would call him. He was definitely a billionaire who was from Dubai, and he was stuck in the UK for business. And the private jets would refuse to fly him out to Dubai because of the fact that they were grounded. Mm-hmm. And he was throwing basically a conniption fit or temper tantrum because of the fact that he had all this money and he still couldn't get out of Europe or out of the UK because of the fact that these planes were grounded. So sometimes, you know what? The price tag is a bit too, it's not that it's too steep, but it's not for sale.
Yeah.
And I think that that's terrific that these people, I mean, I'm sure that it's because that there's so many laws that could come down on them and prevent them from working after this is all over. But to have still moral integrity not to do it, that's something you don't find too often, especially when big money can solve a lot of small problems.
Right. I'd say, fuck it. I'd be giving up my license, everything. Shit. Look, work is hard to find right now. People are starving. You got $1 billion. Let's negotiate. I'd be like, fuck it. I don't have a pilot's license, but we can make something shake. But no,
yeah.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, because you got situations going on. You got to try to minimize it. And again, even though you may not be the one that gets impacted by it, it could be, even though you're not what's the word, asymptomatic, you can still pass it on. So it's definitely something to be cautious of.
What do they call them? Carriers.
No.
Yep. So anyway, I'm out of here, and I'll let everything go on, and it's in your hands.
All right. Well, the bell has run. Classes in session. Ms. Bell, thank you for calling in this evening.
All right. Night, y'all.
Right, have a good evening. Miss D the Gamma, that's good to hear that Mama Gamma is, improving. And so we're wishing for a speedy, full and whole is the same thing. A speedy recovery, full recovery, So, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, what's going on, Honcho? It's Nacho.
Mr. Nacho, long time no hear from. How are you this evening, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. What I wanted to say is, this whole TP virus. I'm not going to say the other word because it seems like YouTube doesn't like it, so I call it the TP virus.
Okay.
Right now, in California, they're quarantining, I think, possibly the whole state or the counties.
Yeah.
To me, it's martial law. They're slowly trying to enforce martial law on people because they're giving people curfews. They're shutting down businesses. They're telling people what they can and can't do. And I think that's a huge problem.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, is it do you discomfort the few for the greater good, or should people still be allowed to roam free and just the society has to deal with the consequences?
People should be able to do what they want to do. Just because you quarantine people doesn't mean they're going to avoid this virus. And the media caused hysteria over toilet paper. And they're blowing it up way out of proportion. And another thing that the media is not telling anybody is China controls 90%, give or take, of ingredients for medication. China is going to weaponize medicine before this is over with. Because if they withhold medicine from the U.S., our hospitals can only last about 4 months before they run out. And I feel like China is going to weaponize medication because our politicians sold off the medicine industry starting back in the 90s under Bill Clinton, and they finalized it under Bush.
So do you see any, I mean, do you see any way that, you know, that the U.S. can kind of recover from this? Do you think that this is a permanent thing? Do you think we're going to be under the thumb of the Chinese from here on out? I mean, how do we redeem ourselves, in your opinion?
I think we'll be fine. I think the U.S. will survive it. But I think at the end of it, the U.S. is definitely going to, Trump and hopefully other politicians definitely push to bring back the medicine industry back to the U.S. so we're not dependent on, China, because that right now is a huge problem. And I feel like with this going on, it's going to create new laws where they're going to force people to show proof that they've had a vaccine before they can fly or even go on a cruise ship. I mean, there's a lot more to this, and they're pushing it for a reason.
Well, I can see that. I can see that. I don't put anything past. I can see something odd like that. I think that, this is one of those events where, like I say, the it's a new norm. Where things used to be one way now because they found out that people will accept, certain actions and they'll accept certain behaviors. Kind of how it was after 9/11. It was a new norm in society. It was a new way of operation. It was just different enough.
Correct.
It was just enough rights kind of removed that, everybody was like, well, I'll do it because I feel safer or whatever else it may be. I think we're kind of in a situation like that. Do you think that do you think more people will fight back? Do you think that people will accept it? Like, what are your thoughts as far as them trying to implement a new way of living?
Well, honestly, I hope, people fight back. And, I don't mean in violence, but it could get, to that level. I would hate to see it get to that level. But I feel like what they're doing now is a form of martial law with quarantining, people, shutting businesses down, restricting people on how many hours they can go outside of their house and what they can and can't do. I mean, that is, martial law. And I think it's going to create a lot more problems than it is good. And, also the TP virus, it has a...
Look, my hands were on the thing. I did not do it, okay? So I don't know what happened. If you want to call back, you feel free to call back. But I did not do that. Y'all saw last night when Mr. Ken called, and so maybe his phone cut off. I'm not sure. You say with people of unrest. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've seen a couple. Like I saw Miami. I've seen a couple of videos. Like I said, I posted a couple in the Den Facebook. Motherfuckers didn't want to get off the beach. I guess some people were out there on spring break or whatever, and mainly, mainly niggas. Niggas was acting up and just acting crazy. Like I said, all in the lifeguard tower and shit, just acting fucking crazy, riding, running through some little beach restaurant. They was out there fucking shit up. Like, it's certain things that make other people look bad. So you gotta just disassociate. What's the motherfucking deal? We got called into the Den this evening.
John from New York. Is it safe to talk?
Let me look. All right, everything's good. What's on your mind, Mr. John?
I know. I heard the feds were listening on the last phone call. They cut him short.
Oh yeah. He said the magic words. They ended that quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But I'm happy that Trump is pulling out the big guns he said that his ego's too big to let this not happen. Payroll tax cuts, paid sick days, $1,000 for everybody, $700 billion for businesses. They got billions upon billions for the cruise ship industry, for the airline industry. They lowered the Fed's fund rate by 100 basis points, which is a full percent, which is humongous. This guy is not gonna let anything happen. This man will blow up the world before he lets this go down under his watch. So thank God for his big ego.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it. He's doing what needs to be done. I think he's changed the tune of a lot of people, because a lot of people were kind of leaning one way, and now people are praising the bipartisanship that is being displayed. With some of the progress that's been made. So I think you got people on both sides that are commending what's happening.
Yeah, and we should have negative interest rates because Germany's got it. A few other European countries have it. We should have negative interest rates. We should lower the value of our dollar so people can buy more of our products. So Trump is the man's a businessman. If there's one thing that I'm gonna listen closely when he talks about, it's gonna be money. But he's got a point. But they're not gonna do that. We're too busy about fucking. Germany doesn't have $22 trillion in debt. It will soon with all those fucking migrants going in there. But it's just crazy. I mean, I took my mom grocery shopping a few times over the last 2 weeks, and she was saying how there's no toilet paper, there's no meats, there's nothing. It's just ridiculous. I mean, people think like the end of the world is coming or something, and you know what? It's like, go ahead, stock up your freezer with all that stuff. And you know what's going to happen is once shit really hits the fan, if it does, I'm just going to come kick down your door and take all your shit at gunpoint. So go ahead, stock up.
You want it bad enough, man. And that's what people are not realizing. It's this is a we'll call it a multi-layered thing. But yeah, the people are getting greedy. They better make sure they are properly protected, because
Listen,
they're hungry.
I have 12 bottles of gallons. I have 12 1-gallon bottles of Poland Spring in my trunk, and I was like, I got to bring them in. I'm going to bring them to my mother's house and put them there for her. And I said to myself, I better do it at night. I don't want nobody seeing me bring that into the house.
Yeah.
So I bought my mom a 20-pack of toilet paper, and I was like, calling my friends. I'm like, yo, you got guns? I'm like, they're like, for what? I'm like, I got 20 rolls of toilet paper in my mom's house. Like, I'm afraid somebody will come crawling into the window. I need to protect her. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous out there.
It really is. It's the way people are acting. Again, what's with the toilet paper? Like, what are your thoughts? Why are people going crazy over the fucking toilet paper? Of all things.
Man, I don't know, man. Like, honestly, like, worst comes to worst, you could shit outside and wash your ass with the hose and then dry yourself off with a towel and wash the towel. I mean, exactly. If worst comes to worst. I mean, like Miss Bell said the other night, the more water you drink, the more lubricated your ass is going to be, the more you're going to shit. So maybe drink a little less water and use a little less toilet paper.
Yeah, I drink a lot of water anyway. I piss a lot.
Yeah, what's up with all these racist bastards in the fucking den? You're all mad I shitted on Germany, now you're coming after me for Italy? Fuck you. Fuck you all.
So
I got fucking mafia comments. I got fucking Italy's a mess. Fuck you. You hit a man you hit a country when they're down? Screw you. What were you saying?
What are your thoughts on, man? Somebody said, what are your thoughts on Vegas, man? What's going on out that way? Like, do you think that this will have a long-term impact on Vegas, or do you think when things clear up, they'll be able to bounce back?
Where is this now? I can hear you.
In Las Vegas, because they're boarding up casinos. I think they said for at least a month or two. Like, I forgot that. So they're like boarding up. I think they were showing pictures of them boarding up the Bellagio or something like that, and Basically, like no one can come to the casino for at least a month. And so, that being a tourist industry,
Yeah.
how do you think that's going to have a long-term impact on Vegas?
Yeah, the stock prices for the casinos were down like 35%. Was it today? It was crazy, or yesterday. But I mean, I think in the long run they'll be fine. I think in the short term they're gonna take it up the ass. But they'll be fine. They have no problem, bringing in investors. I'm sure they'll rig the machines a little more so that the payout odds are a little less. They'll make it.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So, of all the things that have been going on, what is the most I won't say appalling, but what is the most interesting thing that you've seen from all of this stuff that's happening, all the fallout nationwide from this?
I saw two fat black ladies fighting on the floor over toilet paper at some like Dollar Tree store. I was on a video I saw on the internet.
That was terrible.
That was pretty fucking ridiculous. I think it's I have a friend of mine who is my sister is a registered nurse for the past 15 years. I have another friend who is an LPN. The LPN, she works in an assisted living. And I asked her, I'm like, what are you guys doing to prevent, the elderly people from getting it? Because, they're the most vulnerable. And she said nothing. And I was like, what do you mean nothing? She's like, we're just limiting, their family members from visiting. And I was like, well, what about, like, you giving it to them and vice versa? And she's like, she goes, they shoot the little thermometer at your forehead to see if you have a fever. And I'm like, yeah, but you can go 2 weeks during the incubation period with no symptoms and be contagious still. And she's like, yeah, tell me about it. I was like, so basically you guys are doing nothing. She's like, oh, they gave us these cheap little masks. I was like, all right, have fun with that. But my sister said that what they're going to end up doing is the same thing they did in Italy, which is pretty much not allow anyone out of their house. And the whole reason is to really protect the hospital beds, because we don't have enough hospital beds. Like, I think we're 80% capacity in New York already with the hospital beds. So it's basically what they're trying to do is protect the elderly and the immunocompromised, and really make sure there's enough room in the hospitals. And so I think she said she feels that they're heading towards mandatory lockdown, and I want to kill Heidi.
Yeah, fucking Heidi been going in the whole time. Yeah, I saw the guy, the mayor's attorney said that we're not on lockdown right now. I expect things to change, though. It's
Yo, I really struck a nerve with Heidi with fucking shitting on Germany, man.
That's fucking hilarious. This is in Mrs. Grace's cat. So that's why the cat's back there.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Andrew Cuomo trying to play fucking politics with fucking with what's his fucking name, Trump, fucking talking about, we need your help, and he's like, yo, why are you playing politics? If you want to, shut down New York City or New York, you could do that. You're the governor. You're like the president of New York State. You could do that, but you're trying to play dumb because you know most of the voters are dumb, and you try and blame it on Trump, like, oh, he needs to do more. No. You want Trump to call the shutdown for the country, because then the country's responsible for trying to bail you out down the road. Whereas if you call the shutdown for New York, you're responsible for the fucking bailout in the future, and it makes you look bad instead of Trump. And I'm just like, why are you like? People are really playing politics when people are fucking dying out there.
Yeah, and then that's the bothersome thing. Like you would think that put all the bullshit aside, whether people are in the age range or not, that people are losing their lives. And one loss of life is one too many. Get the shit together, figure out the best method. And I was watching a guy. He was talking about how they used to handle the Ebola crisis, and I know it's kind of different, but he's like swift action is necessary. So all this fucking back and forth and bullshit, as you're wasting time, people are either getting sick, like I said, they're dying, more cases or more people getting exposed. So, I think they got to put all the BS to the side and find, positive solutions. But what are your thoughts on the stimulus, though? You know, what do you think that? Do you think that's going to be a plus? Do you think that's going to be just some bullshit? People are going to waste it? Do you think it's going to be helpful? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, even if they waste it, you know, whether they waste it on fucking beer and cigarettes or clothes, or they're buying things for their kids, whatever they're spending it on, they're gonna spend it at a business, and they're gonna pay sales tax on everything. So technically, that money's going right back to the government, and then those businesses they spend $1,000 on are gonna get taxed. So you know, it's just pretty much like a circle. It's going from the government to the people, right back to the government anyway. So you know, it's nice that they're doing it. I think it's good. I'm sure they'll probably do more, because it seems like, you know, like I went to the doctor like 3 weeks ago, and I had a sore throat, I had a cough, and I had like cold sweats. I was like, so I went to, and I don't normally get sick, and like I went, and they were like, oh, like you don't have the flu and you don't have strep throat. I was like, okay. They're like, oh, you probably just got a nasty bug. Like, we'll give you some nasal spray, go home, you know, give it a week. If it doesn't go away, come back. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I could have had the coronavirus, and like I could have been infecting people the whole time. When I went, they didn't even have the test kits, and then I got an email 2 days ago saying, if you have flu-like symptoms but they're not severe, don't come in. We won't test you for the coronavirus.
Yeah. That's the odd thing too. You know, they're telling people, if you're not having these severe symptoms, not to get tested. So it's like, do you have to wait until you're on the brink of something and then go and then infect everybody along the way, and hope that it's negative? I mean, it's just it's a real odd way of handling things. What about the y'all in New York? Do they have the drive-through thing going on? Don't they? What is that? New Rochelle or something like that?
They're actually starting out in all the counties over in the New York City area, even Long Island. I think they started the first one today, and New Rochelle has some kind of like tent set up, but basically they're all pretty much starting as of today. I saw some tweet from Andrew Cuomo. New Rochelle is actually a very, very nice area, New Rochelle, if you're an illegal immigrant, but what you call it? They just what was it? Yesterday they shut down the city in terms of all the restaurants. You can't go and dine there. It's pickup or it's delivery or takeout. They shut down the gyms. They shut down pretty much Regal Theater, and I think nationwide they shut down all their theaters. Or at least in New York City, I know they shut down all their theaters. And it's just going to keep coming. But what are they going to do? They can't do anything, man. You can't see this virus. People for 2 weeks have it, don't even know, don't have any symptoms. You can't stop this. I mean, you got Idris Elba in fucking England who's got it. You got Tom Hanks in fucking Australia who's got it.
Yeah.
You know, fucking, what are you going to do? You know, it's like, it's all over the world. That's it. You're done. End of the world. Purge is coming.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure that I've come in contact with it. I've been living recklessly. So I'm just waiting.
What do you got? What's it like over by you? You've been stocking up on food or anything like that?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm pretty good. Like I said, I haven't had too many, but just like some of the basics. Fucking milk is out of there. I don't even drink any fucking milk anyway. But like no almond milk, no regular milk. Eggs are real sketchy right now. Good on toilet paper and well, at least the next week or two. But they've been restocking stuff. So like even when I went to the store, they were restocking toilet paper and paper towels. But I was just like, man, I'm not gonna fucking wait in this line. Like, and I guess I could have been an asshole because I was right there when they had brought out a little cart and they were restocking before they blocked it off. I guess I could have grabbed one of them fucking big packs. I'm like, I don't need this much goddamn tissue. And then by the time I made a lap around the store and came back, they had fucking line. They had kind of blocked it off with some cones and shit. And I guess maybe I should have, but fuck it. I'll come back another day. They'll have more. So I'm not really too worried about any of it. Like I said, I'm good at least for the next couple of weeks, and then we'll go from there. If I have to pull some sketchy maneuvers to be able to wipe my ass, then I'll do what I got to do. But
Yep. Now how long does? I saw the show last night with Kenneth doing the math. Now, how long would 6 toilet paper rolls last you?
Uh, 6 toilet paper rolls would last me a significant amount of time. I think I make a month or two. I won't say 2 months, but at least a month. I think 6 rolls would make me a month. I don't really go all willy nilly with it. And then I guess in combination, with baby wipes and things like that, I like to, be fresh and clean and all that stuff. So, um, I'm not a toilet paper abuser. You know what I'm saying? So, I think 6 rolls will last me a significant amount of time. I think a little over a month, maybe. Like I don't think I even me alone, probably not gonna go through a mega roll or whatever a week or anything like that. So I think I'd be good for a while.
They got the coronavirus in 7 different African countries now, right?
No, I hadn't been keeping up with it. Last I saw, like I said, I saw the one Nigerian guy that got it, and then like I said, like a day or two later, he didn't have it. Then I heard it went to Ghana, and that's the last. That's maybe 2 or 3 days ago, I think, and I hadn't really kept up since then.
Yeah, there was like Nigeria's got a couple of cases, Kenya's got a couple of cases, Mauritania, I don't know how to pronounce it, I know I'm butchering it.
Yeah.
They got a couple of cases. Rwanda's got a couple, and somewhere else. There's like 6 or 7 of them, and it's just, I know with a lot of them don't have a great healthcare infrastructure. So if it breaks out over there, they're gonna be in a fucking world of hurt.
You think it's gonna be a big thing? I mean, they've had so many other crazy diseases over there. You wonder if they'd be able to fight that off. I guess it depends on what part or where at, but
yeah. It's just gonna get. You just gotta make sure it doesn't hit a shithole country like Germany, because they'll really be fucked.
Oh, y'all finna have a Trump Cuomo chat war happening here. Heidi's been fired up. Yeah, that's the thing though. Your dudes, I guess, have it easier than women. Women got a lot of wiping to do. Men don't have to do that. We just shake and go. We don't have to do all that extra shit.
Well, here's my thing. Like, obviously, you want to use, toilet paper or something to be sanitary. But I mean, like back in the day, like before they had toilet paper, our ancestors made it to the point where you and I are alive today. It's like I would figure what's more important is, heat and food. And then you could figure out the rest.
Yeah.
You fucking grab that cat behind you and wipe your ass with the cat and throw it back in the forest.
Oh man, that was funny because I made a joke earlier. I'm like, if it gets bad enough, hey, Scotty is nice and fuzzy and he's washable. So if Scotty has to serve a purpose, then he'll do the job. So fucking be the only time it'd be worthwhile. But yeah, I mean, I have no worries about any of that stuff. Like I think a lot of it, again, like I say, is I think it's a combination of the virus is affecting a portion of the population. I think a lot of people are kind of got fear mongered into stuff, and then I think that a lot of hype behind it has gotten people scared and afraid, and then it went from like I said again, the self-fulfilling prophecy almost. That's just kind of where to me that it happened, and then so now everybody's really afraid of something that more than likely is not going to cause them that big of an issue.
Kay Gray said you can wipe your ass with poison ivy.
I would not advise that. That would be a bad. That would be worse than
that's how you get the.
Yeah, it'd be worse than the damn virus. Like that would probably be a very, very bad situation.
That's how you get the virus shooting right up your ass.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. Yeah, sitting on the chair and get the AIDS shot right up your ass. Oh damn! Which quote was that? Was that 35? But yeah, man. So
can we talk about? I don't mean to cut you off, but can we talk about Andrew Gillum?
Yeah. What's going on with Gillum? What's on your mind with the?
Barack. When listening to what you said, and you said it seems like every black male Democrat that Democrats have pushed lately have fit a certain agenda.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, I'm like, I can't think of one prominent young Democrat that's a black male that doesn't fit that agenda. Mm. And I said to myself, you're onto something. And I was thinking, like, I was reading some political articles and watching and reading some pictures, and fucking people said like Obama held his hand up at some like rally and was like, this is the moral character we need for the future of America. And I'm like, that didn't age well.
Yeah.
And it's just like, on the Republican side, listen, there's not many prominent black Republicans either. Well, there's more obviously Democrats, but like Tim Scott, like he seems like a nice guy. Like he seems like clean cut. I mean, like clean cut, doesn't seem gay or anything like that. Like, I don't know. Like if the Republicans can do that, why can't the Democrats? It just seems kind of. I mean, I have my opinions why, but I mean, the best you could do is fucking some guy that you found fucking banging out fucking white hookers with fucking meth in their assholes. Like, really?
That's terrible. It's not a good look.
That's what they do, right? Like, there was a news reporter that died last year from a very similar incident, and what he did was they call it cracky cracked. And what you do is you take the hit of crack and you put it up the guy's butt, and then you bang him out, and then you get the high from the crack through your anus, and then the crack, I guess, like kind of like cocaine, gets on your dick and it numbs it, so I guess you'll last longer. And that's probably what they were doing with the meth, because they said that on the bed they found feces and meth. So I'm just like, okay, so it probably came out the guy's ass when fucking Gillen and each other were pounding each other out. Fucking weird shit.
It's the worst thing I've ever heard. I'd definitely rather have the corona than never know about that.
Here's my thing. They did just let him go. They're like, oh, we send him home. Like, what? Like, you found him in a hotel with a half-dead hooker and fucking 3 bags of meth and blood and feces all over the place, and you just let the guy walk home?
Like, what happened
like,
to people?
What the fuck?
What happened to people just doing drugs like the regular way? Like, do the drugs first and do whatever you're doing. Like, people are making this thing too complicated. That's terrible stuff. That's like the worst thing I probably heard since I found out that people used to like to put X in their ass. Like that's I'm like, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. You know what I mean? But for some reason, people like to get creative with their drug usage. I don't think that's a good idea. But
the good old days when you commit a hate crime and then run away into the darkness. Like, now it's like fucking leaving the hookers for dead with meth hanging out of their asshole. Like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, those.
I mean, my whole thing is, here's my whole thing. Like, I was talking to a couple of female friends of mine, and they all said the same thing. They're like, why have a wife and kids?
Oh yeah, that's the worst part.
And be a public, like, it's just like, why not just say single? Or like why? Like, why live a double life? And my whole thing is, if you're willing to lie to your wife about stuff like that and your kids, then what would you be willing to lie to the American people about?
But what if the wife knows about it?
I thought about that, and I was like, maybe she's in on it, maybe while some dude's banging him out doggy style, she's underneath there licking the balls. I don't know.
That was terrible. This is a terrible call, John. This is bad stuff happening all over the place. This is awful.
Well, I'm just saying, like, look, if the guy's gay, I don't care. Like, you live your life. But my whole thing is like, like, you're a Democrat. Like, you guys embrace the LGBTQIA community. Say you're gay. That might fucking look. Mayor Pete Buttigieg, whatever his name is. Yeah. I mean, it's like his whole campaign was based on him being gay. Like, the guy never did anything in his life. He was a mayor of a tiny town. He hated black people, but he drank 40s out of brown paper bags to try and get their votes. And this whole thing was he's gay. He hosted Jimmy Kimmel show because he's gay. So it's like Andrew Gillum was like, he had charisma. He's articulate. He's like, he looked like a young, handsome guy. Like he was like the, what do you call it, Manchurian candidate. It's like, if he would have said he's gay, he probably would have won the fucking governorship of Florida. So I just don't see why Democrats feel a need to keep it a secret. Like, that's what y'all are for. If anything, y'all should fucking use that to your advantage.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's like I say, but that's my whole. It's like I said again, I don't care about the gay thing or whatever. I mean, this is the society we live in now. Everybody's all out there with it. My thing is just that, like I say, with the Democrats, like you mentioned earlier, is that you're hard pressed to find a straight black male being represented or have the support of the Democratic Party. Not being pushed to the forefront at least. And so that's kind of my issue. It's always And again, and nothing against black women, is either a black woman, and usually it's not a black woman who is part of a nuclear family, if you will. It's usually she usually has a sketchy background too, or it's usually some questionable things, with that. And so that's my thing. I believe more so recently than in the past, but the power of the family is very important. But you don't see those family ties on the Democratic side very much. And so that's kind of my issue. Is like, why is that a thing? And then all the backing behind BLM and all that, and then kind of once I start seeing what was going on with that a few years back, and I realized that they don't give a shit about black men. They use those dead black men to promote their cause, which had nothing to do, which was more of the gay agenda, lesbian agenda, rights for LGBT. Like, well, then why are you using straight black men who were killed in the street? You're running behind their name, but then nothing has anything to do with the black family. It has nothing to do with rights for men or anything of this nature. Everything you're using this for gays, and so that's when I really start paying attention to a lot of stuff. So okay, I see what's going on here, and it's not. I think that's when I kind of started separating or looking at the other side and seeing what's really going on.
Yeah. Democrats are only friendly with black guys when they invite them over to Ed Buck's house.
No, it's terrible. You go in, but you never leave. That's
No, that's horrible.
And here's the thing of everything that's frustrating me. Where are all these black people that are doing meth? Like, what is going on? This is not a thing that I knew existed. I didn't know black people were doing meth in such numbers. All the guys that are going to Ed Buck's house. I don't know if maybe it's a gay drug or what. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's more of that community than just a black drug or whatever. But in Tennessee, that sounds about right. But yeah, I mean, I'm seeing all the black guys doing meth. I'm like, did I not get the memo here? When did this change?
I know that I've seen, well, I've heard of like more and more, and it like kind of shocked me because I kind of like, look, reality is like we all kind of have our own stereotypes of certain things in our minds, and I kind of never really stereotyped young black guys as like doing like certain hardcore drugs.
Yeah.
And, lately, like what I've been hearing through the grapevine or just overhearing conversations, I've been hearing quite a few young black guys talk about like hardcore drugs, like hardcore pills and shit like that, like Percocets and shit like that, and like oxycodone, whatever the fuck you call it, fucking shit like that. And I'm just like, okay, I guess the times are changing, I guess drugs are becoming more diversified. I don't know, but
yeah, the pill game is definitely a crazy thing. That was let me finish my legal responsibilities before I start talking any more about that. But yeah, it's definitely changed significantly.
Now, methadone clinics. Methadone is the drug that they give users to help them come off of the real stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so methadone doesn't have anything to do with methamphetamine. They both start with meth. They don't have anything to do with each other.
No, I don't think they have any relation.
Okay, because I was watching a special in Baltimore, and they were talking about how they have like the methadone clinics there, and I was like, wait, they have methadone clinics in Baltimore? I'm like, black people doing meth? I was like, that's new.
No.
So I guess it had nothing to do with it. All right.
Yeah, they say the methadone is almost just as bad. That's kind of like that. What's the shit that they were using to get people off the pills? I forgot what it was called. God damn it! Cause I used to say the shit all the time. Because most people, I'm getting off the pills. I'm on the fucking. I forgot what it's called. But that shit, it's just as bad. Like they'd have to take that shit all the time. So I guess they take it, to keep from getting the sickness and stuff. Cause it's basically like fucking taking heroin, and. Motherfuckers get sick, throw up shit on themselves and shit once they try to get off the fucking pills. They were so bad off on them. So, definitely a habit I'm glad I never picked up. So, that's
what
bad.
Do you I've been blabbing for fucking a half hour. What do you think about the stimulus package?
I think it's a good idea. I definitely think it's a good idea. I think if we're looking at it because so many people are trying to politicize this virus against Trump, I think it puts a lot of things back in his favor, and I think he actually opens a couple of eyes to what he's doing from people who may not have tried to listen before. But as far as how people are going to spend it, I think people who are fucking off are going to continue to fuck off, and then they'll be back complaining and say it's not enough, and then I think you'll have a lot of people take that and capitalize. But some people, I won't say a lot. I think some people, if they've already got their shit together, they'll either just use it to, either invest into something or find some way to capitalize off of it. But I think, I think it'll do a little bit of a help. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but I think it's a good idea. I think it benefits Trump in the long run.
Yeah. And I just want to say, because I've spoken to numerous people of all backgrounds about this, and we all came to the same agreement. If I see one more Asian person with a face mask and dirty latex gloves, I'm going to snap.
Oh, man.
I'm going to fucking snap. I don't know why, but it irks me when I see that. I'm just like,
How
dare you?
Yeah, you brought this shit. What do you got the gloves and mask on? This is your fault.
They were saying that it's racist that all the Asian places are getting a lot less business. I'm like, first of all, everybody's getting less business right now. And secondly, do you blame people? Like, you would think that the majority of people who traveled from China to the rest of the world would be Chinese people or people that had, some business in China. And the majority of them are probably Chinese. I'm like, so it's not fucking racist to say that, Come on now. And it's a one-time thing, it has to do with the disease. It's not like you're doing it every day of your life.
Yeah, I did my part to combat racism. I ate Chinese a few times, but the thing I see is people talking about it's racist to call it the fucking the Wuhan virus, to call it the China virus. But the shit originated in China. Like, again, people just find reasons to get extremely sensitive for no fucking reason. I think I had some.
Yeah. Meanwhile, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, because I saw Miss Me talking about she don't eat Chinese food. I think I had some Panda Express the other day. I don't think that's real Chinese. That's Americanese, or whatever you want to call it. But yes, that's I probably got the coronas.
Yeah, I mean, like when the Ebola virus was going around, I wasn't trying to go next to no Africans. Fuck out of here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like if somebody came from Italy right now, like, I just fucking got off the plane from Italy, I'd be like, get away from me, and I'm Italian. You know what I mean? So. Just is what it is, And it's just funny how they were saying it's racist to call it the Wuhan virus. I'm like, dude, fucking the media was calling it that for the last fucking 5 weeks. Trump said it one day, and all of a sudden you guys acting like he's the fucking grand wizard of the KKK.
Yeah. I saw a Chinese doctor try to get on somebody. I forgot who it was. It was on Twitter, and he's like, it would be a racist thing to call this the Wuhan, because some guy said, the Wuhan virus, something. He goes, it would only be a racist to call this virus the Wuhan virus instead of, COVID-19 or whatever. Somebody, because the internet never loses, went back like maybe about 2 weeks prior to this same Asian doctor was calling it the fucking Wuhan virus. So it's like, people are just looking for a reason to get mad, like being hypocritical just to try to spark some shit. It's like, come on, man, it's not that serious.
Yeah, it's like saying like you hate Germans because you don't like cockroaches, because the cockroaches that everyone hates that breed like jackrabbits, they're German cockroaches, and then they have the American cockroaches, which people call water bugs down south, and those giant motherfuckers that don't run fast. So it's kind of like it's just kind of like saying you hate Heidi because you hate cockroaches. That's not nice.
Yeah, that would be unpleasant.
She's so mad, but anyway, look, I taken up enough of your time. Let somebody else call in. Appreciate you taking my call. Stay safe, Honcho. Keep that mask on. Keep your gloves on at all times. Stay away from all Asians. Do what you got to do, and see you tomorrow.
All right, John, man, it's good to hear from you, man. Like I say, stay safe out there, and don't let anybody steal the water, man.
All right, go back to Germany, Heidi. Nobody wants you here. Goodbye.
Right. Oh man, Heidi was definitely amping it up. Marie Lovely, what's the motherfucking deal? Good to see you. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got called into the den this evening? What's the motherfucking deal? Who got called into the den?
Oh. Hi.
How you doing? You got a little bit of echo there.
Okay, that's better. Hey, Honcho.
How you doing, Mr. Ken? How you doing this evening, sir?
I'm fine. Yo, this is the second night. Yo, okay. Get it together, Karen. Okay. This is the second night in a row. Like, look, I am not a drunk, okay? But look, I'm home in my humble abode, and it's like nothing to do, slash, so much to do. And I'm kind of like tweaked off of Christian Brothers, honey, again, and Michael Kors, like, you know. Shout out to motherfucking John. Like, John was spitting the motherfucking truth. Like, shout out to my New York friend John out here in the land of New York. New York is really, like, going through. There's a lot of my clients that are, like, you know, I deal with a lot of, like, restaurants with my photography, and poor restaurants are closing left and right. You know, sorry for them. You know, it's really sad that they're, like, going through a lot. And that's affecting my business. But, you know, it's cool. Shout out to John for, like, spitting the motherfucking truth out here with the fucking coke and all of that. Yo, John was spitting the truth out here. And, like, I've never did those kind of things. Okay. Let's get that straight. I've never did those kind of things with, like, the whites and, like, the coke and no, not the coke, the meth and all of those things. And yeah, I really feel like everyone's, like, overreacting, basically. Do you feel that way?
I do feel like there's a slight bit of overreaction taking place with, you know, what's going on in the world today when it comes to this corona situation or Modelo virus.
Right. Like, it's really, you know, like, all of a sudden, all of NBA is, like, positive. And it feels as though, like, it's a fucking AIDS. Like, do you all have AIDS or something? Like, it feels like a fucking AIDS. Like, I wasn't alive during the 80s when the AIDS was, like, big time. Like, I was born in 86. Okay, so I'm 33. And I wasn't born during the whole, like, when everyone was dying of AIDS. But that's what it feels like. It feels like everyone is like, oh, I'm positive. And, like, I'm positive and I'm dying. And, you know, and it's like, people in New York, I saw Governor Cuomo, I believe. Cuomo. Yeah, Cuomo. I don't know what the fuck his name is. He's a fucking white guy. Okay, he's the governor. And he was, like, reading the prompter, and I believe, okay, don't quote me, but I believe it's 12 people that have died. God rest their souls. You know, all of you 12 souls out there, I don't know. But God rest your souls. But 12 souls have passed on to the other side. And I believe that 12 people is not enough for people to be, like, going crazy over toilet paper and fighting each other in the grocery stores. Like, I just don't believe that 12 people dying. More people die in the world, okay, than 12 people. You have people who die over cancer, who die over heart attacks, who die over car accidents, who die over, like, all of these fucking things. And you're telling me that New York is going crazy over 12 people. That is ridiculous. No? Is that crazy or no? Like 12 people.
Yeah, I mean,
New York has,
that bothers me too. That I mean, it seems like in the grand scheme of things, it's such a small number, and when the overwhelming majority of people have recovered from it, like I said, that's why I feel like a lot of media hype focusing on just a certain aspect of the situation.
bro, correct. Like, New York has over 16 million people. Over 16 million people. And out of 16 million, 12 people? 12. 12. Not fucking 50 or 100 or 1,000 or 1,500 or 200,000. 12 fucking people. Like, God, like, I'm not making it seem like those 12 people are like those 12 souls, because we are like souls experiencing life in a physical body. And yeah, this is Kenneth, and I'm not trying to make it seem like that those 12 souls are not important, because every soul is important. However, 12 people out of 16 million people is not, I'm not saying it's that important, but it's not, oh gosh, it's not to the point where people are like going crazy in grocery stores and people are spending $17 for ground fucking beef, you know?
It's very. I mean, like I said, I don't. Again, people are. I don't know. Again, like I say, we've seen people do some very sketchy things for less, and so when people are in fear, they have fearful actions, and I just think it's a lot of mass hysteria, and I guess they don't want to be left out or feel like they're on the outside looking in, so they'd rather overpay or do these foolish behaviors. Panic buying, that's the word I'm looking for. So all this panic buying that they're doing.
Bro, it's like the opposite of the fucking Popeye's chicken sandwich. It's literally the opposite of the fucking Popeye's chicken sandwiches. Okay, so let's make one thing clear. Kenneth O'Shea Fitzgerald has never tasted or bought the Popeye's chicken sandwich. Yes, I am an individual. Okay, I'm drinking Christian Brothers honey and Miller Lite Michael Kors. Okay. And I have never tasted the fucking Popeye's chicken sandwich. To this date, fucking March 18th, 2020. Because I refuse to be one of the fucking followers that want to eat chicken sandwiches after people. And I just feel as though there is a bunch of fucking chicken sandwich cheats just moseying around New York as if, like, meat is going out of style. Like, everyone is acting like meat is the first thing since Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? Like, as if this is the first thing since Wi-Fi. And I just don't believe that. I mean, I know that everyone, but for the most part, the majority of people here are followers. That's a given. The majority is followers. Okay, I get it. But I don't know, man. I just feel like I watched the Governor Cuomo, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know. But I watched his little speech this morning in my humble abode, and I watched him read the teleprompter, stating all of the numbers of the deaths, the 12 fucking deaths as if there was fucking more people in Iraq died today than the 12 deaths in New York City. But okay, I watched the speech of the 12 deaths, and he mentioned a bunch about how New York City hospitals do not have the hospital beds to New York City hospitals, the popular hospitals, New York Presbyterian, Bellevue, Mount Sinai, and so on, does not. Cuomo, okay, I get it. I'm kind of tipsy. Bear fucking with me, okay? Okay. They do not have the proper hospital beds to help the people who are positive. I mean, I sound like these people are fucking HIV positive. Okay, and they're positive. Okay, so he's saying that there are currently 3,000 beds, and I'm going off of my memory. Okay, there are 3,000 beds currently occupied by New York citizens who are sick. Cuomo is stating that he's projecting 55,000 to 110,000 beds that need to be filled, okay, throughout the peak of this coronavirus. And he's stating that, what is it? What are those people called? Construction workers? Yeah. Construction workers are converting other buildings into facilities to hold these people. And he's saying that New York does not have enough ventilators to fulfill the number of patients that they propose, 55,000 to 110,000, that will be in need of ventilators, i.e. old people and people who have been dealing with other, illnesses in this, that, and the third. Okay. So I don't know, Honcho. I just think that I'm fine. Personally, I'm fine. I've been going about my day. I had a photo shoot today. It was very lovely. And I'm not coughing. I'm not coughing. Those were fake coughs, by the way.
I got a question for you, though, Mr. Ken. I got a question for you. What are your thoughts on the Trump stimulus package?
Okay, the Trump stimulus package. I mean, go for it, man. Shit. I mean, if you feel like you want to give the American people $500,000 or $1,000, I mean, go ahead, Trump. Do whatever you feel like you want to do. I mean, at this point, I just feel as though that money is green, money is printed, and it is not something that just appears out of thin air. Money has to be printed by the United States Treasury Department. So if it's printed, hey, why not print some checks? I mean, New York has over 19 million people. So if New York has 19 million people, I mean, go ahead and give New York citizens over 19 million. I mean, I don't know how to count that way, yeah. But, I mean, I just feel as though that he should just go ahead and do whatever the fuck he wants to do at this point. He's been doing whatever the fuck he wants to do. He called the fucking coronavirus the Chinese virus, and everyone is so in uproar, meaning people in their, household have been calling this a Chinese virus. I mean, where did it originate? It originated in Wuhan, fucking China. It originated in Wuhan, fucking China. So if President Trump wants to call the virus that originated in Wuhan, China, the Chinese fucking virus, by means, go ahead and call it the fucking Chinese virus. I mean, all of the Chinese restaurants in my neighborhood, they're closed. The fucking Chinese restaurants are closed. Nobody is eating Chinese food except for me. I ate Chinese food twice last week because I don't give a fuck about no fucking Corona or Budweiser or any other kind of virus that's out there, the flu. I have not had a fucking vaccine shot in my entire life. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I feel like God has my back, and what's for me is what's for me. And what's for the United States is what's for the United States. United States have an awful hell to pay. United States has to pay for the ultimate sin. That is slavery. And I'm sticking to that. And I'm fine because I had no contribution to that, nor did my people. And I feel as though that Trump can call it whatever the fuck he wants to call it. I mean, he's called worse. Trump has said worse. And all of these people are like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, he called it the fucking Chinese virus. Okay, it originated in fucking Wuhan. What the fuck? If it originated in the fucking Africa, people would definitely be calling it the African virus. They fucking connect Ebola to Africa. So shut up with the fucking Trump shit. Who fucking cares? Okay?
Hold on, I don't mean to cut you off, and I'm trying to see something. I don't know if anybody else has heard such a thing, but it is trending that Oprah has possibly been arrested for sex trafficking. I can't confirm this, but I see this is Oprah is trending.
Is that breaking news?
Now, I'm trying to see. I mean, I'm trying to see what's going on, but this is trending on the Twitter. So I may be saying something that is BS, but a lot of people are saying that Oprah has been arrested. I don't know if it's real, but it is definitely trending. They were showing something about a house of hers in Florida, apparently with a pipe or some shit that they were saying may have had some type of connection to Epstein. That's maybe why she was so quiet about all of that stuff. So that is the number one. Oprah is the number one trending thing right now.
Bro, I'm Googling it as we speak. I'm trying to find the deeds. I'm literally trying to find the deeds as we're on the phone. I can't seem to find it. Maybe you can find it. But I don't. Yo, bro. Okay, listen. I don't doubt you. You want to know why? Okay, so when that fucking Pizzagate was going on last year, I did read that they had actually, you know how you have like pepperoni pizza, extra sausage, extra cheese, extra whatever? Yeah. They literally have a like setup where extra sausage meant extra black boys. And extra fucking cheese and extra fucking virgin pussy. And extra whatever meant extra whatever. And that was like trending last year. And it just went away out of nowhere. It literally came and it went away. I totally believe it. And it makes sense that Oprah would be quiet with the whole Weinstein shit because she has a role in it. Yo, son, if Big O goes down, I'm telling you, we're at the end. Yeah. As Big O goes down, brother, we are at. DeMarcus said it's number one trending. Really,
yeah, it's
bro?
The number one trending shit right now. If you,
bro, this is breaking news. Yo.
But see, it would explain a lot. Like it would, man. Look, we may end up taking a break and then doing an extended in here in a minute. We may have some things to talk about if this is true, because it's so funny that that would explain a lot.
Yes.
That would explain a lot. It's the number one trending topic on Twitter. All you gotta do is get on Twitter and go into trending, and Oprah is number one.
Shut the fuck up, yo.
Shut
the fuck up.
Number one thing.
Like,
Oprah arrested. Like, cause the thing about it is like, I saw something else random about Oprah. Like, I didn't even see that it was trending, and I look and I'm like, whoa. I went back to the search thing and it's like it's the number one thing. I thought it was like some old shit. Oh, because I saw something about that they were digging up Oprah's house yesterday, and it was something from yesterday. Somebody retweeted.
Shut up.
And then apparently they was talking about some shit at her house. I don't know what's going on, but
shut up.
Even
man.
if not, it's definitely a stain on her character.
Yo, if that's the truth, I'm telling you, Weinstein ain't fucking going down without dragging all the motherfuckers down with his ass. You hear me? He's bringing everybody that played a part in his fucking sex or rape or molestation, whatever culture that he had going on. And believe it or not, okay, just use your imagination with me. Okay, so when people get missing, and this is just me just thinking, when people get missing, people think that it's maybe sex trafficking, or many people believe organ harvesting. For black people, not for white people, for black people, organ harvesting, because it is known as a known fact that the black people's organs are more expensive, on the market for their organs, okay? So we all know that that is a thing. But there is also a thing that people sit in the audience and they watch people, innocent people, get on the stage tied up and get tortured. And just like you're in the movie theater, people are literally watching people get tortured on a stage, bodies getting mutilated. That is a thing. So it is not just organ harvesting or sex trafficking. It is body mutilation. And if you just look back to slavery and things of that nature, there were people getting hung and castrated, and women that were pregnant were hung, and their babies were cut out of their stomachs alive. And there were actually people looking at that laughing. And they actually had picnics, which was originally called pick a nigger, literally, pick a nigger. Where you picked a nigger, you hung them, and you mutilated their bodies, and you just sat in a park and ate your fucking food and watched the body die. Where did those people go? Where did the children, where you see pictures of mutilated bodies and you see children looking at that with a smile on their face? That is not normal. When a child sees something really bad like that, they cry, they're scared. But for a child to look at a mutilated body with a smile on its face, that is evil, my friend. Where are those children today? They're here, they're amongst us. And I mean, that explains why there's so much gore and death, like, going on today amongst people. No?
Interesting.
You feel me, son?
No, I'm gonna read. I was reading the thing, and so I get what you're saying as far as what's going on. Cause I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this Oprah thing. I got to see if there's a modicum of truth to this because that would be something major. I'm until I see anything different. I see that they're saying there's different areas that this has come from. So again, like I said, until I see something a little bit more
Is it true, bro?
solidified,
Is it true?
but it's very interesting. She had buku pictures with Weinstein. She had some pictures with some other interesting pedo.
Are there credible news sources posting this?
That's what I'm waiting to see. Like I say, it's a lot of rumors.
Oprah's
right now.
done. Even if it's not true, Oprah and Gayle have been getting a bad rep these past few months. Even if it is not true, they're fucking what is it called? I'm fucking tipsy. I'm more than tipsy. I'm drunk. Okay. They're fucking, what is it called, bro? Like their credibility and it's tarnished. It's really tarnished. And I feel as though when Oprah came out with the Russell Simmons documentary shit, I believe that's what triggered people to search deep and deep and deep and deep. And then with the fucking Kobe Bryant with Gayle, that was the fucking bullet to the head. Now, I personally feel that there was nothing wrong with Gayle asking the fucking WNBA player those questions because she's a journalist and she's entitled to ask the questions. Yeah. And there were other white journalists that said horrible stuff about Kobe. And those same black people were on hush mode. And that just brings me to that black people are still afraid of white people. I mean, not all, of course, but going from how the fucking white comedians said horrible things about Kobe. People said a little, like, regular people were tweeting things and Instagramming things, but black celebrities were on hush mode. Black celebrities didn't come out and talk until Gayle said something. And Snoop Dogg called her a fucking dog-faced bitch. And said that like a dog-faced bitch. Like, and said that motherfuckers was gonna come for her. What the fuck? She asked her fucking question. She didn't say Kobe can suck her pussy. You know? Like, she just asked a question.
But is she not trying to force that question, you don't think?
She did. Of course she did. Of course she did. She forced the fuck out of that question. But my point is, bro, is that the white comedian said, I'm not saying verbatim, but the white comedian said, you can Google it, he said, karma is a bitch, and karma got Kobe for all that he has done. That's what the white comedian said. It was a white guy. And then there was a white journalist woman where she retweeted an article from back in the day from the Kobe incident. And she said X, Y, and Z. I don't know exactly what she said, but it wasn't anything pleasant about Kobe. But black people, she was suspended from her job for 3 days. But my thing is that black people didn't say anything. And I just feel as though that male black celebrities are cowards. They go after the weakest link. Do you see how these past couple of days that there was a black producer on Instagram? He's a producer. He's like really big time. And he pistol whipped his girlfriend. He pistol whipped her. And there were pictures posted with her bloody face, black eyes, swollen face. And these same black celebrities who came after Oprah, they were quiet. They didn't say anything, bro. The same way like the other black boxer. He yanked his baby mother up by her neck and drugged her out of the basketball game. I know you heard about that. Or you've seen that.
Yeah, I heard something about it. I didn't see it. Straight up, what I did
Right.
hear something about it.
But black celebrities said nothing. Black male celebrities said nothing. They did not condemn him publicly. They said nothing. So you want to chastise Gail?
But aren't these people on like lesser platforms? Like I say, the people who do, I don't even know who it is. Like I say, the rapper, I have no idea who it is, and the boxer, like I said, I'm not even sure who it is either. But my thing would be like Gail is on a national, maybe international platform, and you're talking about a guy who is a Hall of Famer in one of the biggest sports on the planet. So these are maybe more well-known people as opposed to people who are maybe coming up. And it's like 1,000 rappers out there. I have no idea who is who these days, especially. But I think it's the scale or the notoriety of these individuals that may determine, the feedback that they get.
Right. I mean, I totally understand you and what you're saying. You may not know, but the celebrities, the male celebrities know the boxer Giorgio, if I'm saying his name right. They know the producer Hitman. They know these people. And my point is that they know these people. They know Kobe. And they defended Kobe. But time and time and time and time again, women are beating the fuck up. The fucking producer pistol whipped his girlfriend. The fucking boxer drugged his baby's mother, who was not even his girlfriend. He drugged his baby's mother out of a public basketball game by her neck, like a dog. And this was posted all over Twitter, all over Instagram. And these fucking celebrities like Snoop Dogg that always have a fucking... Snoop Dogg has the most to say. He can't even stay faithful to his fucking wife. Fucking T.I. is too busy fucking to see if his daughter is fucking a virgin. All of these Boosie is so concerned. Fucking Boosie is so concerned about fucking Dwayne Wayne's son or daughter. Meanwhile, there's women getting beaten and drugged out of basketball games. And they're quiet. That, to me, says that you motherfuckers are cowards and you go after the weakest link. And I feel like I'm an honorable person. Now, people can call me gay. People can call me all types of names. But honor, there is no price on honor. And these men don't have honor on their names. They're fucking wussies that go after the weakest link. You feel me?
But here's the deal, man, Mr. Ken, because it's about that time. It's the midnight. We didn't hit the 2-hour mark, but I get what you're saying. But also part of it, like I say, and this is something I spoke on, and we're gonna be in a Discord right after this. But this is something I spoke on, especially when it comes to dealing with toxic relationships. Because a lot of the time when you do step in, what happens? The woman goes right back to the man. And so it's like almost why put yourself in a situation. I posted a video actually in the Den Facebook group the other day of a guy trying to help a woman who was, she was right there getting in public, basically getting beat on or threatened by her boyfriend. He stepped in, tried to, help her get out the situation. Guy turns around and shoots him, stomps him, kicks him, and then the old girl leaves with him, doesn't even check on the guy that's laying on the ground, bleeding out. Some other guys that are around go and check on him, and she just goes off with the dude. So it doesn't even, this guy tries to help her or calls himself intervening, And what happens? He gets his
Right.
life taken away from him, and she's still with old buddy. So it's like,
Right.
what was the point? What was it worth it for him to try to help out? Because the thing is, if a woman wants to be out of that situation, she's not going to get out of that situation until she's made a firm decision to get out of it. So you can do all the intervening that you want to. You can white knight all you want to. You can try as much to try to save her and talk sense into her head until she's ready to make that decision. Doesn't matter how many beatings or any of those things that are taking place. She's going to stay in that, and if she does get out, she's going to go back. There's been times I've chimed in, and that's what I've learned. Like I say, I mean, I don't. It's unfortunate, but until a woman is really ready to get out of it, I mean, she's not. Because there's been, I can think of 2 or 3 different occasions where one was a stranger I didn't even know. She was out there crying for help. Oh, he do this, this, and this, and so I went and intervened until a ride came, and then the next day she's back over there. And then there was another situation, a friend, went and helped out, and then what's happened? She's back with the dude that was supposed to beat her. And then, like I said, hey, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm not going to involve in this because, again, I'm putting myself in a situation where, if I feel like it's a proposed threat, then, we're going to have an issue here. Somebody's not going to leave this situation the same. Somebody may not leave this situation, so it is what it is. So I'm not going to put my risk, especially I'm not getting no ass to risk for somebody that is really not beneficial for me. And so, especially when you're just going to go back to the same situation. So I mean, I've took a high risk situation to try to be helpful, which again, I don't know what's going on the other side. I could be risking my life to help a person out when they haven't made a firm decision. So I don't really necessarily blame men who don't, like I say, if you are related to that person, something you feel like that's your due diligence, cool. But as far as trying to tarnish the name of somebody who was never found guilty, who was never, like I say, legally labeled, but to try to force and squeeze some type of confession out of who was it, Lisa Leslie or whoever, and to make it seem like, oh yeah, and I know his character was bad. When she sat there and said, like, no, he was a good dude. He wasn't like a lot of the NBA players I've been around. I know the different personality types I've been around them, but to continue to try to force it just to get her to say something negative, to me, that's different.
Right.
Now, if he had been accused, if he had been, found guilty of the rape or whatever, well, then, hey, now we have something to base it on. But you had one incident where he was found, or whatever the case was, dismissed or thrown out or whatever happened, and a woman, I believe, had multiple semens in her undergarments. So again, she was out there doing so she was doing what she was doing. So that's my thing. Is like, trying to force something on unproven on this man just to have a story. That's where I have the issue with it. Now I say if it was something that you had, like Kobe was a known serial wife beater or something of that, then maybe you push it a little bit. But you had one thing, and this man has had a stellar career, done great things, is giving back to the community and everything else that goes with it. And I think that's why I say I think that she went too far in trying to force all that shit. I hope Drake did hang out with Kevin Durant, but that's about.
You're right. Oh. You're right, but like I agree with you 100%. But I also feel as though the same way that you feel like the fucking women is gonna go back and this, that, and the third. So why say anything? Is the same way that motherfuckers should keep their motherfucking mouth closed in regards to Dwayne Wade and his son-daughter. That is the same way.
But I think Dwayne Wade put himself out there because when you go on, Ellen, and you go on all these shows and you make these big public announcements, like I say, my thing is, if he pops up with his son, daughter, and it's a transition, it's a change, it's a personal family decision, or, hey, that's who's supporting you and all that other stuff, then, hey, who is anybody to say anything? You might catch you off, oh, well, shit, Dwayne Wade, son is transitioners or whatever it be. But when you go on like this promotional tour, then that means you want the public to be informed or know or whatever it is. And when you put information out in the public, it's going to be dissected. Some people are going to embrace it, and other people are going to say, nah, I'm not with that shit. And when you put anything out on a public platform, you're going to have detractors. You're going to have people who are going to have your back no matter what. And so I think that's on Dwayne Wade for putting his 11, 12-year-old child and pushing him into the limelight like that. So I think that's a decision he consciously made.
You're right. You are exactly right, bro. I look. I don't disagree with you, not one instant. All that I'm saying is, if you feel the need to correct, not you, but I'm talking about the male celebrities. If they feel a need to correct or voice their opinion about Dwayne Wade's son or daughter, that's going to be whatever the fuck the son daughter is going to be, then you also should have that same energy and voice your opinion about your fellow celebrity male who pistol whips their women and grabs them by the neck, even though you know that the motherfucking woman is going to go right back to their sorry ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, keep the same energy. You know what? You feel me?
Yeah.
Keep the same energy. But shout out to K Grace. I just want to say, if you could give me a second. I know I've been talking for a long fucking time, you know, and I thank you for giving me this time. You know, I just want to say shout out to K Grace. Shout out to, like, Broderick, you know. Shout out to, you know, I don't know who else. K Grace, Broderick, you know, who's, you know, always been, like, cool. And, oh, John. Shout out to John for his fucking call. Like, John was fucking, like... John was crazy with his phone call. But, like, yeah, shout out to John. And I know people are telling me to hang up, but, like, fuck you all who are telling me to hang up. You can kiss my fucking ass. And for those of you who don't know me, you know what I'm saying? I have a potty mouth when I wanna, you know, and you can kiss my fucking ass, you know, and I just don't care. Slick whips and whoever the fuck you are, you can kiss my fucking ass. And better yet, you can kiss the coronavirus in the fucking mouth. Slick whips. And the rest of you motherfuckers who are trying to, like, get me off of the line. Because you're worthless. And you are the rocks that I kick. But I'm not even going to degrade you. I hope that you don't catch the coronavirus. I believe it's all bullshit. And if you're old, stay home. You know, like they say, stay home. All my New Yorkers, like, big up to everybody in New York. You know, shout out to fucking K Grace, John, everybody in New York, you know, and shout out to Honcho, the H motherfucking NIC that's representing from the South, you know, North Carolina, Texas, everybody in the fucking South. Thank you, man, for having me. I'm sorry to take up so much time. It's been real. I'm not a drunk. It's just like I'm working on my fucking project, and it's like so isolated, bro. Like, I don't want to go to anyone's houses because I don't know what's real and what's fake. I'm not trying to, like, die out this motherfucker. Like, I've already had 2 spinal surgeries, and I don't know if spinal surgeries equate to, like, getting sick. So I'm trying to stay away from human beings as much as I can. And I don't got no time for this fake ass bullshit as coronavirus and all that other bullshit. But yeah, I just thank you, man, for, like, having me on and whatnot. Everybody should, like, get some Michael Kors Light and some Christian Brothers honey. It is beautiful. Or whiskey honey. Whiskey honey is very beautiful. K Grace, John, after the coronavirus, we should all meet up and have lunch somewhere in the city. Like, for real. Like, you guys are really cool. Even though we might not have, like, the same viewpoints, but you guys are really cool. And that's, like, the great thing about being human beings and being individuals, that you don't have the same fucking ideas and viewpoints, but you have respect for one another to understand each other. And it's really simple, you know? Do you know, like, Honcho, you feel me? You don't feel me?
Yes, I feel you, Mr. Ken. But like I said, I gotta get ready to slide, so I'm gonna have to cut you short there, man. But like I say, I appreciate the call, and we'll definitely be chopping it up soon.
Oh, next phone call, we gotta talk about the Gilliam. We gotta talk about the fucking Gilliam that got caught in the fucking hotel room with the fucking crystal meth and all that bullshit. We gotta talk about that, bro.
Yes, we will definitely discuss that. We'll dedicate a topic to it because I think there's some other interesting underlying stories around that. But like I say, man, Mr. Ken, I appreciate your call, man, and like I say, we'll chop it up soon.
All right, man. You take care. God bless. Stay safe. Stay away from corona. Stay away from all them bullshit ass, fake ass motherfuckers that might give you the corona. You know what I'm saying? For real.
All right, just don't get corona out there, baby. Be safe out there in New York. I appreciate it.
Word, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. All right. Y'all know what time it is. We have gone a little bit past 2 hour mark. We'll be live in the Discord immediately after the show. If you want to jump in into the Discord where everybody's welcome, everybody can chime in, everybody can jump in the voice chat and talk live about whatever topics, discussions that are going on. But make sure that you get into the voice chat so you can hear. I know some of y'all will slide into the Discord, but you may not be in the voice chat, so you have to click the little 3-bar thing, and then there's make sure you're in the voice chat section that says I think it says the den. Is that what it says? Let me see. Hit the little 3 bars, and see it says the den. There's a couple of people in there already. I see Jason S. and Nunya already in there, and make sure you connect the voice, and you can join in vocally, and like I say, and just share your thoughts. So we're going to have a little discussion. I'll be on there for a little bit, and then I'm gonna call it a wrap shortly after that. But I want to chop it up with y'all, so make sure you're in the Discord. I'll post a link here shortly. But I want to say thank you to everybody who called in. If you're in Philly, if you're in New York, be careful because they are definitely on some other shit, and just protect yourself. But I thank all of you. We'll be back at it tomorrow. We're going to see what's going on with this crazy. It's crazy that the fact that the Oprah thing is trending, even if it may not be real, because, the internet is funny because people are going to believe things no matter what. And so even if your name is associated with certain stuff, it'll definitely be a stain on your character. Broderick, I find it very interesting that you're saying what you're saying about JJ, because, something I've said often in the sauce is that if I was to ever trade JJ, it would be to the Packers, right? And so it's interesting that you're saying what you're saying. But I would like to see some form of proofage as to what's going on. Like I said, I didn't see anything other than what he had posted about his brothers, and then that he was the little sad face meme that he had posted about DJ Reader leaving. So I don't know if there's something else going on that I may have missed, but it'll be very interesting. But with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a part of your life this evening, to get to chop it up with y'all. Like I said, we'll be back at it tomorrow, 9 o'clock. I know that I've been late the last few days, but I'm going to have things ahead of time. I just had some other stuff going on. So we'll be back at it live at 9 tomorrow. I got to get back on schedule. Got to get my studying schedule back right and everything with that. So with that being said, it is an honor. It is a privilege, but more than anything else, it is my pleasure to get to chop it up with y'all each and every night. Until tomorrow, I'm trying to produce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Y'all ain't got to go home. Again, let me put the link in here real quick so that you can be a part. I thought I had on the thing. I'll put the link in here real quick. And I'm a fucking dickhead because the link is in the description, right? But I got that Rona. I'm gonna get the fucking corona because I keep talking about the shit and cracking all these fucking jokes. And they're gonna be like, that's what your ass gets. You made all those fucking tasteless jokes about the Rona. Well, fuck you, asshole. That's what you get. No, I don't really care about it. Even if so, I think it would be one of those quick pass-through things. I've been drinking plenty of vitamin C and I take a multivitamin, so I'm good. So, let me see. That's the link you need right there. And with that being said, I'll see y'all in the Discord. Discord link right there for all those you who don't have it. But again, with that being said, y'all are the greatest. Y'all ain't got to go home. Y'all want to keep the party going. Discord after party. And I'm trying to go to deuce. But y'all got to get the fuck up out of here until tomorrow. I'm out.